Ever found yourself out back with your trusty air rifle and thought, this just isn't cutting it anymore? Yeah, I've had that same realization. There's something almost magical about a pre-charged pneumatic air gun that feels like it's just an extension of your body, shots snapping off with surgical precision and barely more sound than a breeze. That kind of harmony between shooter and tool is exactly what I chase when putting a PCP rig through its paces. After nearly 90 days of steady shooting, I'm pretty sure my neighbors think I've declared war on the local squirrel population. After tearing through tins of pellets, refilling tanks, and punching holes in a mountain of paper, I've put together a list that's actually worth spending your hard-earned money on. Whether you're a veteran air gunner or just getting your feet wet in this crazy little corner of the shooting world, these picks should steer you right. Let's dig in. Gammo Arrow. We'll start with what I like to call the entry-level PCP that punches way above its weight, the Gammo Arrow. For about what you'd drop on a decent dinner out, you're getting a serious performer. Made in Spain, the Arrow feels far more refined than anything else near its price. The straight pull, bolt action is slick and oddly satisfying. It's like cracking high-end bubble wrap every time you load a pellet. And the fully ambidextrous design. That's a rare find in this price range, and a huge win for both lefties and right-handers. One thing that really stands out is Gammo's Whisper Fusion suppression tech. Sounds like marketing fluff, but I've watched squirrels freeze mid-run trying to figure out where the shot came from. It works. I consistently got just under 90 shots per fill, about 87 on my setup, which is hours of backyard plinking before needing to top off the tank. Their custom action trigger, or CAT system, is actually quite crisp, none of that squishy, vague feel you expect at this level. Plus, the 11mm dovetail makes mounting optics straightforward without any strange adapter hassles. Now here's the surprise. Even though the Arrow uses an unregulated valve, usually a recipe for shot inconsistency, it still delivers a shockingly stable performance string. I chalk that up to the BSA, fast strike valve, doing some behind-the-scenes magic. Is it flawless? Of course not. But if you're trying to keep spending reasonable and still want a capable rifle, the Gammo Arrow hits the sweet spot. UMRX Notto CRK. Next on the bench was the UMRX Notto CRK, a compact powerhouse that really caught me off guard. It's small enough to slide into most mid-size backpacks, but don't let the size fool you. With an 11 3/4-inch barrel, I expected it to fall short on accuracy. But after a few mags, it made me a believer. It pushes pellets with real authority, and the 7-round rotary magazine isn't huge, but it feeds reliably, thanks to a slick auto-indexing system. The side lever action has a nice mechanical feel, without being fatiguing, even after long sessions. But what really made the Notto shine for me was the way it blends modern features with a classic shooting experience. The pistol grip feels tailor-made for your hand, and it's easy to stay on target without any wrist fatigue creeping in. The built-in suppressor is more than just a gimmick on my sound meter. It read only a few decibels above a quiet Thanksgiving argument. The Notto's is incredibly versatile. I've taken it from structured range days to relaxed backyard sessions, and it just works. Build quality feels top-notch for a rifle that costs less than what most people drop at the grocery store in a week. Once you've got the rhythm down, reloading the magazine takes maybe 20 seconds. And while beginners might need a little time to get used to the side lever, it becomes second nature fast. Honestly, if UMRX had priced this $100 higher, I'd still recommend it. At its current cost, it's a flat-out bargain. Benjamin Bulldog, 357 Magnum PCP. Now we're stepping up into what I like to call the hurts your wallet, but heals your soul tier. The Benjamin Bulldog, chambered in 357 Magnum. This beast isn't just a large-bore air rifle, it's a power statement. Built around a compact bullpup design, the Bulldog delivers full-force payloads in a frame that's surprisingly manageable. That 357 caliber punches with serious authority, but the real magic is how well the platform handles it. The ambidextrous, reversible side bolt is a dream for shooters like me, who shift hands depending on stance or field position. And despite launching heavy slugs at over 900 feet per second, the rifle remains surprisingly quiet, thanks to sound trap technology. Instead of a thunderclap, you get something closer to a firm throat, clear, stealthy, but still satisfying. Under the hood, this thing's a tank. A rifled steel barrel, machined components, and tight tolerances all contribute to jaw-dropping accuracy. I was stacking groups tighter than I expected, to the point where I had to double-check if I'd somehow leveled up overnight. And with a 26-inch Picatinny rail, you've got room for any optic, light, or gadget your heart desires. I've tested it with high-end glass, thermal, even night vision. It's not without quirks. The bolt sits further back than I'd like, which might be a stretch for smaller frame shooters. And if you're feeding longer slugs, you might run into the occasional hiccup. But honestly, these are nitpicks. What this rifle does well, it does really well. Bottom line, the Benjamin Bulldog 357 offers top-tier performance at a price that's high, but completely justifiable if you want raw, air-powered stopping power without sounding like you're firing a shotgun. This rifle is the real deal. UMRX Gauntlet 2. Coming in strong at the third spot, we've got the UMRX Gauntlet, too nicknamed the Zeus in my circle. This air rifle hits that golden zone between price and performance, like it's somehow defying expectations. For something that rings in around $600, it acts like it belongs in the $1,000 club. Depending on the pellet weight you choose, this beast can throw rounds downrange at speeds topping 1,100 feet per second. Yeah, that fast. Now the trigger? Absolute chef's kiss. It's a two-stage design, light with a clean break, feels like you're snapping a brittle icicle. But the real game changer here is the 20-shot rotary magazine. Once you go from a 10-round mag to this, it feels like ditching dial-up internet for fiber optic speed. More shooting, less fiddling. Visually, the Gauntlet 2 brings some serious sci-fi energy. My wife says it looks like it belongs in a Space Marine arsenal. But it's not just for show. The bullpup-style layout makes it compact and maneuverable, and the barrel shroud helps tone down the sound signature. It's not whisper quiet, but it's definitely not obnoxious either. What truly sets this thing apart is its adjustable regulator. That's a feature you typically find in rifles that cost double. I ran it through the chrono, and the velocity numbers were ridiculously consistent tight groups all day long. You get about 25 solid shots per fill, and trust me, every one of them counts. If I had to nitpick, the instruction manual is borderline incomprehensible feels, like it was written by a robot that flunked English. But hey, we've got video tutorials for a reason. Bottom line, if you want most of the features of a high-end rifle at a fraction of the cost, the Gauntlet 2 is a no-brainer unless you're chasing medals at the Nationals. This one will take care of business. Sig Sauer MCX Vertice. Taking the second place trophy is the Sig Sauer MCX Vertice, a tactical air rifle for folks who want real-world aesthetics with top-tier performance. Think of it as SIG's way of saying, let's make one of our iconic carbines, but air-powered. The 30-round magazine alone is a selling point. I went through hundreds of pellets during a single weekend session and didn't feel like I was constantly reloading. The trigger could be a bit lighter, probably pulls 15% heavier than I'd like, but you adapt quickly. Some of the controls are more about realism than function, but that doesn't take away from the shooting experience. It feels like a true SIG. You get fully adjustable iron sights that actually do their job. A rarity, and the full-length top rail gives you tons of options for mounting optics. As for durability, I accidentally knocked it off the bench once, and it held zero, like nothing happened. What makes this rifle shine is how it connects with the shooter. From the textured handgrip, to the smooth cycling, to the balanced weight, it just feels right. Sure, it leans on the pricey side. But if you're the kind of shooter who values craftsmanship, design, and something that stands out in a sea of generic builds, the MCX Vertice earns its keep. This isn't just another plinker, it's a serious tool with attitude. Benjamin Marauder, BP 2264S. At the very top of my list sits the legendary Benjamin Marauder, BP 2264S. This rifle is the airgun equivalent of your ultra-capable buddy who can do everything and somehow stays humble about it. The moment you bring it to your shoulder, you know it's something special. Solid without being clunky, balanced in a way that makes both bench and offhand shooting feel natural. And the two-stage trigger? Smooth as silk and tunable to your preference. I honestly had to double-check my first shot it fired that cleanly. The stock feels like it was sculpted to fit a shooter's body, whether you're resting it on a bag, firing offhand, or contorting to line up on that squirrel freeloading near your feeder. It stays comfortable, and steady for hours. What really elevates the Marauder is its reliability. The regulated pre-charged pneumatic system delivers nearly flawless shot-to-shot consistency. I've sent hundreds of pellets across the chronograph, and the spread is razor thin. That kind of repeatability turns average shooters into sharpshooters. Customization is another area where the Marauder crushes it. The integrated rail system welcomes red dots, scopes, even night vision or thermal gear, if that's your thing. Plus, there's a massive aftermarket scene behind this platform. I've tricked mine out every which way, and it never skips a beat. But beyond all the specs and features, there's just something satisfying about shooting this rifle. It blends the soul of classic shooting with the precision of modern tech in a way that's rare. Whether you're punching paper, stalking small game, or just enjoying a quiet Sunday session, the Marauder gets it done every single time. And that's a wrap on my top 6 picks for the best PCP air rifles you can buy right now. Got a favorite of your own? Did the budget-friendly Gammo Arrow catch your eye? Or did the Benjamin Marauder win your heart like it did mine? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if this breakdown helped you out, hit that like button and subscribe to Gunsmith Forge. It helps more than you'd think, and it makes sure you're locked in for the next round of airgun content. Until then, keep those tanks full, your shots steady, and enjoy the ride. Happy shooting, y'all.